Like
is all
I
I'm
think
gonna say.
in
Color
our community,
aside.
in our community for sure, it's not like really smiled upon. But I think as an actor or an actress, like that's kind of it comes with the territory. So you got to come to a point where it's like, am I okay with my wife kissing up on another dude?
Halle Berry just did it. She just kissed.
Oh yeah, she kissed.
She
but
kissed that man.
So that was out of pocket because
it was right in front of his wife.
Yeah, it wasn't for a movie or anything. She just grabbed that man and just kissed him.
But do you know why she did it?
They kissed in a movie before, right?
No, he did it to
her.
her.
He did it before.
He did it to her on a show.
Oh.
Yeah, like years ago. This had to be like 20 years ago. He came up to her and it was like such a like, oh my God, controversy.
Yeah.
But the fact that she walked up, she looked that man's wife in her face and said sorry, and then grabbed his face and kissed him. Famous or not, Halle would have got slapped.
It's Hollywood.
Like,
they
she know who she can and can't do that with.
Yeah, Hollywood's weird.
She knew who she can and can't.
And then the lady was laughing. She was like, "Oh my God!"
Huh?
You see what Will did?
Exactly.
Some people
know. Some people like we know. Like we don't do that to each other, but
I wish somebody would.
For sure.
That would be the day.
I mean, if you a black man with a black wife, you shouldn't even allow that to happen.
I don't even think it's a race thing at that point. I think it's just a respect thing.
Don't disrespect that shit. I think they set that up though.
Who?
Halle Berry and Adrian Brody.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
There's no way.
Like, I don't think so.
Whether it was set up or not, I mean, I think they were going to be cool with it regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I
think certain people look at stuff differently, and then you got to also think about Hollywood does have their secret sex cult. They probably saw each other at a swingers party the last week and tearing Halle Berry up. You feel me?
Why you bullshit?
That is terrible. To each his own. I love that for them.
One day I'm gonna find out. One day.
Would you go?
I'm not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Spectating or participating?
I mean, if the mood strikes, I might jump in. You know,
just hopping in.
Tag me a jersey, please.
What's the bag? How much am I getting paid?
You're not getting paid. You just there for your pleasure, bro.
I'm not going in, bro.
I'm like, hey, bro.
That lawsuit going hit.
I want them dudes to be like, hey, bro, you was going in on my wife. What movie do you want to do?
I'm not trying to be Diddy 2.0 because I got some Hollywood party.
This is good. This is staying in the show. This is going in the beginning.
There's nothing about sharing my spouse that seems fun to me.
Understandable. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
So your spouse, if he was an actor, he couldn't do no sex scenes and all that?
No.
Really?
No.
None?
No.
Bag is like $2 million.
There's nothing wrong with that though.
$3 million.
There's nothing wrong with that.
When I get with my
morals to respect
when
her,
I get
marriage.
with my man, he is a virgin.
In
my mind,
in your eyes, he's a born again virgin.
Period. If you have a child, I don't know. It was a marriage situation. I don't even want to think about that because then I'm gonna be mad.
He impregnated her with his mind.
Yes, I don't know what happened.
Brett said, "Have my baby, have my baby."
Yeah,
have
like
my
baby. I don't even want to think like that. Like I don't bring that negativity into my life. I don't.
Oh my goodness.
I don't view you like that. No, like you're a virgin. No. I don't know how you do that thing that I like, and I don't care. Like, I don't.
She said, lie to me. She said, no questions on how you figured that out, where you learned it from, none of that.
You want me to sit and watch somebody touch you? Like, that's just crazy to me. I feel like if I genuinely, like, love you and I care about you, like, I don't want somebody breathing your air. Like,
would you let your wife do it?
No.
So, look, here's the thing. This is a crazy question. I never thought about this shit. But, all right, so... It's a lot of factors into it, right? Like, what is her level of actress or whatever?
I think just don't love
high level.
Enough.
Yeah, I mean, she has to, right? Like,
No.
I think that's her shit.
Denzel has it in his contract. There are several actors and actresses, that have it in their contract.
Denzel
you can work and make money without doing it.
Yeah, he kissed a nigga.
He kissed the dude in Gladiator 2, but they took the scene out, so he basically did it for nothing.
So I don't know anything about that. What I know is that
I'm just saying there are exceptions to these rules.
There are actors that have in their contract that they will
no contact kind of thing. Yeah. And I think that's fair.
As my spouse, that would be my boundary. And if you don't like that, that's fine. I'm not the person for you.
I think I would be way more. I would love my relationship more if I knew that she did a sex scene with a dude and she has no feelings towards that nigga afterwards.
That's called a cuckold.
No, that's a cuckold if I like that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying
yeah, this scene was great, babe. You did amazing.
But she's it's not a, you know what I'm saying? I know for a fact that I'm the main dude, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like I'm the guy. It's better to know
some top level
because
reassurance.
No.
That's what it is.
And for me, I feel like if I agreed to it, I would agree to it, and then I would resent you later. So I'm gonna just be real and say no.
That's the thing. Like a lot of people,
because the
they'll let you do it,
no.
and then they'll be mad about it after the fact that they let you do it.
And you're not gonna
at least you being honest up front.
Because I feel like if that's the case, then cool. If you could do it, then I could do it. And I know you don't want that.
But I mean, you ain't an actor.
I don't care.
He doing it for money.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's active. You know what I'm saying? So
and I feel like you need to act like you have a wife. And act like you know I don't like that.
Let's say he's struggling. This role about to get him $3 million.
She don't care.
That's not my problem.
All you gotta do is smack booty. He can't do that? Like
smack?
Yeah.
Or smack?
Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like
cup it.
Is he just just walking by slapping, or they're engaging in activity? For real.
Like they just laying on the bed. You know that shit go just dry humping. Like ain't even no
and
real
that's
shit.
how Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt ended up married, and Jennifer Aniston
but see,
ended up single.
That's the thing, right? Like,
see, that's the thing. A lot of relations start like that.
That's what I'm saying. But me, like, I'm not gonna look at that nigga and be like, oh yeah, he gonna take my spot. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
I bet Jennifer Aniston didn't look at it like that.
Look at all the Spider-Man. They all dated their Mary Janes, except like Shamik, but he don't count.
Them niggas was single though, bro.
I feel like you have to remember they spent a lot of time.
I think Tobey took old girl from somebody. He got with her and she was dating somebody else.
Transformers, the issue with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. Like, I just think when there's intimacy involved and you're working with people and you see them every day, like the work wife, work husband thing, I just think that there are certain boundaries that shouldn't be crossed. And for me and whoever I'm with, that is a boundary.
Understandable.
No. You gonna mess around and end up single.
I think it's fair.
Shit. I mean, look, if she looked, she took. Ain't nothing I can do about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just, she was never mine.
You gotta let it go.
The conversation over. Like
sometimes you gotta let it go.
You gotta put it through the ringer to know if that's your real girl or not. Because if I don't, I'm gonna be living in a lie the whole time. So take it. But
are you living in a lie, or is it like, okay, we have this scene, we've been working on this movie that you allowed them to do despite your better beliefs, and now they have this intimacy coordinator and they're working towards being intimate. Think about like what Blake Lively and what's his name are going through. He had no the other dude. The other dude. She's basically suing him because he didn't like her. Because she made several passes at him and he was like,
not going.
No, he was like, yeah, I'm with my wife and kids. Like he kept reiterating, like the only time he said something nice to her is when she was trying to get him to hype her up by like, oh yeah, you know, I'm a little self-conscious because I just had the kids. And he was being nice. Like, you know, you look beautiful, da-da-da. And she used that one little thing to run with. So it's like, you don't know what people have going on in their marriages and their relationships. You don't know what your spouse could be thinking. And it's like, they're over here in this intimate mood with this person that they've been working with for the last year and a half. Maybe y'all got in a fight that morning and now there's a little extra passion in that kiss. Like, no.
I'm not perfect. Like I said, if a scene takes you away from me, then you weren't mine in the first place.
Now they're winning an Academy Award and just got to walk around kissing all the time.
I ain't gonna lie, my wife won an Academy Award for a sex scene. That's amazing. I can't even be mad at her. I can't. I really can't.
And I feel like you're saying that until you see it and until you're in the group chat with your 10 friends that are cracking on you because everybody's watching your wife get kissed and grabbed on by another man. I don't have that to give. I would be ready to blow everything up.
Truth be told, if I'm allowing a group chat to influence how I feel about the woman I decided by myself to marry, I'm fucking stupid.
Exactly.
But I don't think it's a stupid thing. I think there's no way that you could have somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with, that you're saying, you know, this is my partner forever, and you could be okay with watching them kiss somebody or watching them be intimate with somebody else. I don't know how that would work.
Look, there's actors that do it now.
Listen, it's a very tough pill to swallow. Yeah.
If 100%. I'm saying if it's just a 100% monogamous relationship, the people that do it, I think, have open relationships and other things like that. I'm saying if it's 100% monogamous where it's me and you and that's it, I don't know how a person could be okay with that. Now, if you're poly or open or whatever, like I love that for you. Yeah. I just don't have that.
You give your all. I think so. That's the thing. I think you're a person who gives your all to your man. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Like there's no faking it. There's no in between. Nothing. I think everybody does it. Like myself. Like if my wife did that, and I know she's doing it for the act. You know what I'm saying? And I know at the end of the day, that was for the act for sure. I'm not gonna have any problems. I wouldn't cheat on my wife even if let's say I had to do a sex scene. I know that girl, no matter how fine she is, how you know what I'm saying, whatever accomplishment it is, I would not leave her. You know, I wouldn't leave my girl, whatever, none of that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that would happen for me to leave her.
I think that sounds good until circumstances change. Like, it's life. Like, anything can happen.
I get that.
Anything. Maybe y'all haven't been intimate in a minute. And now you over here 6 months gone, and now you got this fine lady bouncing on you for a sex scene in a movie.
I'm not that easy. You know what I'm saying?
hear
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think you're thinking like we gonna be easy.
I know some niggas is, but it's like
I think you're not being realistic. Like, I'm not saying, oh, you're just a simp. Your girl told you no one time on a Monday, and now you out here just smashing people. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like, maybe y'all have been in a long-term relationship. Things have been rocky. Things aren't great. And now you're away and working and your all is in this movie. Things change. People change. That's why I'm saying
I feel like if those kind of... So, I get where you're coming from, but I think for me, like, my idea of what my marriage would be, we would work through those problems before she would even get to that stage of, like...
Perfect world, but people don't always tell you.
I would hope that our marriage is strong enough that I can pick up on the fact that something's wrong.
I bet a lot of people hope so too.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think a lot of people stop caring after a while. And I want to be a person that cares the whole time. So if I'm a guy who's marrying an actress...
But if you care and she doesn't and she stopped caring, what does that look like?
Well, then I would hope to notice that she doesn't care and I would want to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of factors that can happen, but we're talking... For this situation, we only can talk our ideal setup for it. Like, I can't talk. Like, if we having a rough, if she ain't gave me none in like months, and then she's like, oh, I'm about to go do a sex scene with this dude who I think look better than me, then like what? Yeah, I'm gonna feel some type of way.
I ain't gonna lie. We had sex in months, and she go do a sex scene with another nigga. That's a problem. But I'm gonna be the type of nigga like, you know how much I want that shit. There's no way you're gonna leave me dry, then you about to go do some fake shit with another nigga. So
exactly. So
the
then
only
that's
thing
when
I
we
can
question,
think of,
is this a good marriage? Like, do we need to
that's where conversations have,
The only thing I can think of right now, and it's like off topic, on topic, is the situation with Rennie Rucci and her baby dad. Did you see it?
I've seen
Kevin Gates dropped a song, and I guess the baby dad felt like he was insinuating that like they were involved. And the way he went off, I think that that's a more realistic, like, all of this sounds good to say in theory, but I think when men are questioned in terms of...
That's like straight up cheating.
But that's what I'm saying, and I think it depends on how you look at it. Like, she's over here like, bro, I never cheated, I didn't do anything. He's like, nope, you did, because I heard it. Like, I heard it in a song. Like, I just think when the male ego is hurt, like, that sounds good to be like, yeah, I wouldn't care. And if she's winning an Academy Award, cool. I think if y'all were Kerry Washington's husband, you'd be salty.
Some niggas can't control their ego.
Upset.
Celebrities have this shit where, obviously, all these celebrities can get whatever they want whenever they want. So it's different. Compared to us, like, we really had to fight for our shit. And so, I'm 35, about to be 35. I've been through this shit, you know what I'm saying, for a long time. I know how I gotta be with a female, you know what I'm saying? That's why I try to be as real, authentic as possible from the jump. Like, I don't try to side anything. Any girl can tell you, any ex can tell you, I will tell you straight up, this is how I would like the relationship to be. If you don't like it, we don't have to have a relationship, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be very honest with everything. If I have a problem, as soon as I have a problem, I will bring it to you because this has to be locked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to be this. Yeah. It can't be nothing else. I can't have the fake shit. If I feel like you're even slightly on the left, or if you think I'm slightly on the left, we need to have that communication. And I'm very blunt about that. I make sure... That's what I'm saying. Like, whoever I am with, if that is my wife, I know for a fact I have given her everything I told her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she understands that completely. So I can't have a problem with her doing something because I know for a fact that we done had a conversation that this shit is so locked up that there's nothing a nigga can do to fuck this up. But if he does, you know what I'm saying? If you feel like that is fucking up our relationship and it might do whatever, then he can have you. You know what I'm saying? Because that is what it. That's why I said like that's just what it got to be. I got to be 100. I got to be real.
I fully agree.
A celebrity like I said, celebrity gonna pick these girls who aren't even strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't like to say it, like to generalize all of them, but a lot of these girls are not strong in themselves either. And the celebrities themselves, the dudes are not strong in themselves. Kevin Gates, look at this nigga, bro. We be talking about Kevin Gates, like, come on, like, no disrespect. Shout out to what he's trying to do. Shout out to what he's trying. Look, shout out to what he attempts to do.
He's one of those freaky dudes that you don't like.
What do you mean?
Kevin Gates.
What do you mean he's one of the freaky dudes I don't like?
Like what you said in the last episodes where dudes just be freaked out.
Oh, he's definitely so. He's definitely a lot.
Yeah.
But I think Kevin is a prime example of like men that have suffered sexual trauma and have never been helped.
Yeah,
true.
For sure.
Like the way his raps, his songs, like there's just a lot of trauma. And I've been a Kevin fan probably since like 2012.
Okay.
So like I've seen a lot of interviews with him and Dreka. I love Dreka Gates.
I love Dreka Gates too.
Dreka Gates is like the realest of the real. When she sat there and said, because it was around the time that everybody was like talking about their breakups and like their relationship and like what's going on. And she was at an interview and he was sitting there and she was like, Kevin cheating on me is not a reflection of me. And I feel like for women, it was just such a powerful moment. And y'all can eat me up if you want to. But I feel like what she was saying was, I think we internalize a lot. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, was I not showing up enough? Was I not doing this? Was I not doing that? Oh my God, I didn't do this. I let myself go. I didn't do this. She was just so real and raw and was like, if he's cheating on me, that's because something in him is off. That's because his needs aren't being met. He's either not telling me or he has his own internal battles and I can't take that on. That's not my problem. And that is when I was like, oh, yes. Like, she's that girl.
She was one of the ones
like,
with a real
girl.
brand. Like, she was really thoughtful in the relationship. She was very genuine in their relationship. That's the difference.
And I don't think she's perfect because everybody's always she's doing this, she's doing. We don't know their relationship. I mean, clearly it has to be open at this point.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, I just love the way that she carries herself and that she speaks. And I think that was like a very like aha moment of like, yeah, that has nothing to do with you.
No, that's a fact.
I get you.
But it's like I said, like he has the pick of the litter. So it's like compared to him and compared to the regular person who has to really fight their battles, like really go through the mud every single time, exercise their relationship status and exercise basically how to be in a relationship. That is the importance. A real one, and have to really keep your girl. Not because I got a lot of money, it's gonna be easy to keep a girl or get one. It's just you really have to understand emotional intelligence. You really have to understand what your girl needs.
And I feel like knowing your boundaries. I think the Braxton's mom said this like years ago. She said, if you have two options when you find out that a man cheats. You're either going to leave or you're going to stay. And if you stay, shut up and let that man cheat in peace because clearly you're okay with it and it's bound to happen again. And I agree. I feel like if you're going so on both sides of that, and I think that's kind of where Dreka is, like, if you know that cheating is a hard no for you, then you need to leave because you can't say it's a hard no for me, but I'm going to stay with you, accept the behavior, and then make you feel like crap about it the whole time. So then it's like, on the other hand, if you're going to stay, and I think you either need to make it known, like, this is the one and done. If it happens again, I'm out. But if you're going to stay and you're just going to keep letting him cheat and do whatever, then let him cheat in peace. And I think that's what Dreka's doing.
So my question to you is, I don't think we really get this question a lot. Like, what is cheating to you? The very bare minimum of cheating. What is cheating to you?
Cheating to me is anything that you would not want me to do. And I feel like it's any breach between like mental or emotional, like, or physical. Like, cheating is not always just having sex with somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, there are emotional affairs.
Exactly.
There are physical affairs. But I feel like it's anything that you, for one, know I would be uncomfortable with. And I think anything that you think you have to hide.
Okay.
Because as people, when we start to hide stuff and we start to do weird stuff and you putting people on silent, you changing names, you locking your phone, it's upside down, you know you're doing something wrong.
So what you mean by hiding? Like, how do I say this? So
if I ask you about Abby at work and you get an attitude, I don't want to talk about her. You always bring her up.
But why are we talking about Abby though?
I don't know. How was work? How'd the project with Abby go?
I think you mean like you start becoming avoidant. Like, let's say, for instance, if a dude is like, yeah, such and such, there's this new chick at the job, her name's blah, blah, blah. And like 1 minute he's really chatty about her and the next minute, I don't want to talk about her. I don't want to talk about her.
Yeah.
Because that's usually what happens. Like when your conversation changes, you're trying to hide something.
The
women do it
demeanor.
too. Like women will say, oh, there's this new guy at the job and I got to train him and all this other stuff. And you can watch the progression of like, I hate this guy. I think he's actually pretty cool. And I think you guys would be good friends. And then all of a sudden you're not talking about him. Then all of a sudden you got work trips. Like, what's going on? You know? So I think what I get what you're saying. Like, as long as they're not hiding stuff. And by hiding, it'd be anything. Hiding your phone, hiding like conversations, like stop talking about stuff, like, you know, being avoidant about certain subjects. When people start becoming avoidant, you should know this, right? They're hiding something. Especially if it's something like if I talk to y'all about a chick all the time and all of a sudden I stop talking to y'all gonna be like, hey bro, what happened? Like,
you ain't stop asking about her.
We also talked about how like I don't tell my girl stuff so that she don't have to worry about it as well. You know what I'm saying?
But you wouldn't have told her from the jump though.
What?
You wouldn't have told her from the jump.
It depends on what it is.
Is it something
but you said you wouldn't tell her.
If the roles were reversed, and this is why I said it's something you wouldn't want done to you. So if the roles were reversed and she was in the situation, would you want to know about it?
It depends on what it is. So
something that, like whatever you're thinking of right now.
I'm trying to think of a scenario where a girl is doing so with a male that I wouldn't care if I didn't know about.
No. Think about something that you've withheld from a relationship you've been in. If the roles were reversed and she withheld it, is that something you would be okay with finding out later?
I don't really hold.
But you just said you withhold.
It's like I said, it depends on the situation.
So
like,
think of something that you
think
have
of the
withheld.
situation.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do. That's what I was trying to do.
Like, I don't know your business, so I can't like.
I don't know. Like, let's say a dude try to holler at her. Maybe I don't know.
So like, if a chick at the job try to holler at you, you're not gonna tell your girl about that.
I know you're not. Absolutely not. Especially if it's somebody that's like permanent.
No, I wouldn't.
But if the roles were reversed,
no.
Yes, you would. You'd want to know.
If we solid, I wouldn't have to know.
So you wouldn't want to know that, like,
if we're solid,
so holler that you have, like, he brought flowers to the job, said she looked good.
That's a whole different thing.
Like,
so you know how because y'all ain't gonna bring no flowers to us. So if a girl came to me,
some girls come aggressive.
Bring lunch.
She gonna bring you like a whole steak dinner or something
lunch
like
is
that.
I know.
Lunch is crazy.
I know your girl don't be cooking, so here's some extra food.
She be like, "Oh, I went to Chick-fil-A and I got you. I heard you talking about your favorite foods.
I know you
got
didn't have lunch today. Here you go. I've seen it. Like,
so you're not gonna tell your girl that you had lunch for free?
Oh yeah, Abby bought me Chick-fil-A today.
You here with that? Yeah, babe, I had free lunch today. Yeah, some people at the job they had an extra.
So tired. Abby bought me Chick-fil-A.
So look, like, girl, bring your dude some lunch. You want to know, right?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Because I know that any man that I've ever been with is very territorial.
Dude, bring you lunch. You not gonna eat it?
I'm gonna eat it, but I'm gonna tell my man.
I would hope she would eat it, but like,
yeah, I'm definitely telling.
Just don't. Well, no. Take that back. I wouldn't hope she eat it because ain't no telling what the nigga could have did to the food.
That's wild.
So I think it depends on your girl too, though.
It definitely depends on your girl.
Because if my girl's like
the woman you with,
yeah, like she kind of crazy, and I know it's not a big deal.
But you don't want your girl
I think if somebody is bringing
nuclear.
If somebody is bringing you lunch to work, that's the big deal.
I don't think so. I don't think that's a big deal.
And I think you need to communicate with your partner because I'm pretty sure.
I definitely brought lunch to girls. I don't even think of, like, you know what I'm saying?
I think it depends on the circumstances around it, but as long as there's like an understanding. So if I got like a homegirl who I work with, my girl should know that's my homegirl. Like there ain't nothing between us. She knows I'm gonna bring her lunch, right? Like if it's a new girl, that shit dead. Can't do it. It don't work like that.
I'm gonna be up there the next day looking fine, bringing a whole meal. A whole meal.
Yeah. So that part. That's why it's so hard to
Here you go, sis.
I think it's just hard to like really come up with snare because I think it really depends on the girl and the dude. Like what kind of girl is it?
I don't think it depends. You need to tell me everything.
Understandable.
Period. I need to know because men love to know like when you're getting hit on or like, oh my God, you ain't see that man looking at you, but a girl could be staring right at the print and y'all just don't notice nothing.
Because it's different though, because we're supposed to hunt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if a nigga going out his way to really get you something, we know that's damn near. If he 9 times out of 10 it's intentional.
Because he disrespected.
You know
that's a foul.
Yeah, that's a foul. If he know, like if that nigga know she go with somebody, there's no reason because I would never get no girl no lunch and she got a whole nigga.
These women be on the prowl.
They do.
These women be hunting.
Y'all disrespectful for real.
So absolutely not. You need to tell me everything.
But see, I wouldn't. That's the thing. I don't talk to girls who know I'm with a girl, and
I love that. Don't talk.
Because I like you know, I know what you're doing.
I need a mean man. Don't talk to nobody.
Because you sound like a friend of mine.
That's just drama anyway. So it's like
I need a mean dude. How's your day? Fine.
She need an android that's basically in love with just her. He don't talk to nobody else.
I'm being funny, but nah, like I just friendly. Y'all be so friendly and so like, oh my God, what do you mean?
You want us to be like, just like, no.
I want you to have the same energy.
Anything.
No, I want you to have the same energy that you have with me. And I feel like a lot of men be like, my experience. Don't do this. You didn't know that dude liked you. You didn't know this. You didn't know this. And it's like, no. Like, it's easy to have... it's easy to perceive when you're on the outside. But I feel like when that...
You can't tell that nigga was trying to...
Yeah, so when it's switched and it's like, oh, she's been bringing me lunch. Like, who cares? It's like, Me. Like, what do you mean? But like, if the roles were reversed, you would understand it. So I just want you to have the same cognizance around yourself that you do of me. If you can pinpoint every man within a 50-mile radius that's trying to talk to me, you should have that same energy toward yourself. I shouldn't have to tell you why is this lady sitting up here twirling her hair talking to you.
But what did you
crazy.
say? You shouldn't have to tell them though. And I think that's the whole point. Like, I think as long as you know who you with, you shouldn't have to tell them nothing. I shouldn't have to worry about nobody trying to talk to my girl because at the end of the day, it's like...
I'm not worried about it. I just want you to know to stay away from her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you... The same way that you're not worried about him, you don't think I'm about to go home with him. You just want me to be aware that he likes me, so keep it short.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I just want you to be aware.
So I guess, I would like for my girl to walk into a room full of sharks and come out
fine,
unscathed.
But I want you to know you're walking in a room full of sharks because y'all be dumb.
Too, yeah. I want her to know what exactly what's going on.
I ain't
gonna lie. It's harder for men to notice signs.
It's not. Y'all just act like y'all been dropped on your head. It's not hard at all.
I be peeping.
Y'all know. I think y'all be flattered and just be like, I don't want to say anything. Y'all know.
Nah, y'all gotta be direct.
If
a woman batting her eyes at me, you think I'm really paying attention to that? If I'm doing something else, no, I'm a tick and then go right back to what I'm doing.
We have to be chivalrous, right? We can't be disrespectful. Yeah, we do.
You want me to be mean?
Come on now.
No, absolutely not.
Who wants you to be mean?
I'm saying like men. Like, so if I'm sitting at the bar and somebody buys me a drink, my man is probably going to be like, you don't need that drink. I could buy you a drink.
I mean, if a nigga buying you a drink, you're not supposed to touch that drink.
Is that not chivalrous?
No, hell no.
Is he not being nice?
No, because he's buying you a drink.
I'm sitting at the bar
that's a whole different scenario.
There's no drink.
That's a whole different scenario though. Like that's an absolute.
You see how that switched that fast?
Yeah.
So if a young lady is buying you lunch, y'all work at the same place. She knows you get a paycheck. You can get your own lunch. She's buying me lunch.
She knows I have a girl. Nah, she's not doing that. There's no way.
Niggas at the bar don't know you got a nigga unless you're
there. You at the bar by yourself.
If a nigga buy you a drink at the bar and you with your nigga, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
That's crazy though.
It's absolutely crazy.
If you at the bar by yourself, like, hell yeah,
nigga, I'm drinking that shit. Fuck. It's my drink now, goddamn.
I have had a guy buy me and somebody that I was with a drink at the bar. It was a terrible situation. Terrible.
There was a dude gave the girl I was with some weed and then didn't know, you know what I'm saying? But then when I pulled up, gave us some more weed. I was like, okay, for free.
He was cool with it. He was like, yeah, man.
This is when you was in Cali.
No, this was here.
I mean.
Oh, yeah. It's legal out here. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Either way, I feel like we've way off. We gave y'all a little bit from, this is like a tag on to the last episode, so make sure you go watch that. We talked about relationships and all that. That was fun. It was a fun little intro. But welcome to the Bridge ATL, y'all. Y'all know who it is. I'm Ty. And of course, with me as always, we have Kell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we have Ashley.
Hey.
And as you saw, we had a fun little conversation about dating an actor, actress, into what's okay in a relationship, the rules of engagement when it comes to dealing with other people, you know what I'm saying? So y'all, make sure y'all let us know about that in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribing, doing all that good stuff. But that's not what today's episode is about. It's been a little minute since we actually got to sit down and film, and politics have been popping.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
They've been politicking.
Politics have been going crazy. We done got, recently the tariffs have been announced. I'm very upset about that, and I'll talk about it later. But the tariffs have been announced. We've got a senator speaking for 25 hours straight in opposition to Trump. We got Elon Musk getting the boot.
Did he get the boot?
Which I don't think he got it officially.
Right, I don't think so either.
I know they're trying to. I know
probably give him a gag order. That's probably about it.
That's probably what it is. We got the Department of Defense leaking text messages to editors in chief about war plans. There's a lot going on.
They didn't leak them. They included him in the group chat.
Exactly, which is even worse. It's not like they didn't even plan it. It was like, oops.
A group chat planning a war is crazy.
Right. So we got a lot going on. We're gonna talk about it. I want to talk about them text messages first off, though. You know, the Signal text message leak. We're calling it a leak because...
Do you guys use Signal?
No.
Okay, same. I don't either.
I use a Telegram.
Yeah. I just was curious.
The Signal like
Telegram.
It's like
a WhatsApp
it's a
or a Telegram,
okay.
but I think it's I think Elon Musk owns it. I think it's his. And I don't know if you guys were aware, but they were talking about downloading it on everybody's phones. Remember when we got that like YouTube album?
You got an iPhone and you got that YouTube. Bruh,
Yeah.
people were so mad.
This is like a minute ago.
This was like iPhone
This had
5, 6.
Man.
It was a while back.
You opened up your iPhone, you just had like this YouTube
YouTube
playing,
album,
and every
yeah.
time you plugged it up, it was like the album would play.
And people were like, "Can I just like delete this
And you
album?"
couldn't.
And they had to roll out a change to allow you
They
to
had to
remove
roll out
it.
an update to allow you
Yeah.
to remove it. But Elon wanted to have Signal embedded into like
Everybody's
devices
phones. That's
so
crazy.
that you had it.
That's crazy. Yeah, no. But yeah, for the people who don't know about it, this happened a few weeks ago. But the specifics were that the Department of Defense and like a few other important people, I think like JD Vance was in there. The Department of Intelligence was in there. A bunch of them had a group chat where they were going to discuss a basically secret plans in order to carry out a drone strike. And one of them added
Against another country.
Yeah.
On
Yeah,
behalf of the United States via group chat. To be
and
clear.
I believe the other country was Yemen. They were trying to, I believe the goal was to root out terrorists in that area. Somehow the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic was added
in
to the group chat, and they got a full whole thing of these text messages where they were talking about like war.
It's
and
like
everything.
a fist, a bomb, and like
one of my
explosion.
favorite parts, I gotta say, from the text
crazy.
messages was that, you know, JD Vance was in there. And JD Vance's first message that I saw was like, I don't know, guys, I don't think this is a good idea. Basically trying to talk them down.
Yeah.
And then everybody just kept talking like, no, we're gonna do this.
And then somebody
later
was like,
he was like, all right, man, Godspeed, I support it.
and somebody was like, dang, I really like Canada, but we gotta do what we gotta do. I'm like, not y'all having just like a general like conversation planning the destruction of a country just via group chat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't think they understand, like, you're talking about killing people. Just in a group chat, like it's. I know that we're desensitized, but like, at what point?
I think everybody is. It's about the decorum, right? Like how you were supposed to, I guess, operate when it comes to planning bombings and stuff like that, like war in general. But because of today, it is 2025. This is not the 1800s where you have to have a whole group meeting and everybody.
But what
has
happened to the war room? Like, I
That's
don't
what I'm
think
saying,
this
like-
should be conducted via text.
I ain't gonna lie, this is kind of crazy. I don't mind people saying, "Hey, bro, I think we should like bomb Yemen like in like a month." What do y'all think?
I do.
like
Like what? You're just at your kid's soccer game and you just get a nice little text. You type in a password and then bomb Yemen at 3:00 tomorrow.
I think
What?
I think some of the
Oh,
best.
hang on, Johnny's playing. I'll get back to you in a minute.
I think some of the
What?
best like some of those aha moments come from like where you're just out and about, right?
I don't think running our country should be an aha moment.
I don't think it should be.
So you
either.
don't agree that they should have like a quick way to talk and discuss plans? I mean,
The people that are currently in office,
No,
absolutely
no, those
not.
people, no, hell no.
No.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
I don't like
think
them
it
doing
makes
it.
sense though,
But
because
I don't see the problem of like somebody saying, "Hey, I think a strike here might be pretty cool."
What?
I know this sounds crazy.
So we're playing Battleship via
that's
iPhone.
basically what it's always been though.
yeah.
Think about it. Let's think about it.
We think about like the war. Oh, they're sitting there and they're like, oh,
No,
it's like-
historically, when people wanted to make actions, they had to meet. They had to bring forth everybody and they meet. Think about how inconvenient that is, right? Now we're at a point where we can send a message immediately.
Call me sensitive, but
Of course, it should be
to
secure.
use the word convenient when you're talking about
War.
blowing up people.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that though.
That's what it is.
It's gonna be pretty soon. We're gonna have drone operators sitting at home, like, "Hey,
Because think
go
about
ahead,
it.
load up. Here's your target. Do your thing."
You gotta think about it. Like before they even go into the war room, these people have these thoughts about this all day before they even get there.
But that's what I think. So I think about like when you get into an argument via text,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see a text, and then you're just quickly popping off.
Yeah, facts.
So like you don't know what people are going through. You don't know where their headspace is. You don't know anything. So we're just texting everybody just like unilaterally expecting that everybody's mindset is here. How do we even know that that's them? Like, I just think that there's a lot. Like, if you have to all come to one place, you should, in theory, be prepared. You should, in theory, have thought about it. And the only thing that you have to focus on this time that you are in this room is this.
Yeah. I get what you're
Versus
saying.
an act of convenience. Like, yeah, let me watch my kid play sports and then text about a war. And then, I forgot to send. Hey, babe, can you just send this real quick? I'm going to go pee. Like what?
So one, I would
like
hope
you're just
they're
eating
not,
popcorn, like la la la, planning
I would hope
war.
they're not that like casual about it. But I think
They put
I
a fist pump with fireworks.
That
Said
is
let's
crazy.
do it.
That was crazy
Like
as hell.
come on, man. Hope.
Like you guys said, this
Y'all stressing me
administration.
I think it's decorum. It's decorum. But
Yeah,
No,
it's
this
stressing me out.
administration is
Yeah.
definitely not a good example.
no, hell no.
But I think that the opportunity to be able to do that, but not actually act on those actions, more like a group chat to discuss.
I would have
what
rather
you
a
would
Zoom
wanna
call.
talk,
I would
right?
have rather to Zoom, so at least I can see your face and know that it's you and know that you're paying attention. I don't care if you have your boxers and a blazer on, but like,
But,
come on,
yeah.
man.
Well, I would say like as long as these aren't like actual actionable items. If it's like for communication's sake, that's fine. But because the fact that they use this as like a go ahead and do it. Yeah. All right, we got 3 hits. We got
JD
3
Vance
confirmed
said,
hits.
I don't think we should, but I mean, Godspeed. What?
Yeah.
It's not like I don't want the pepperoni on the pizza, but I'll pray about it tonight. Like, come
basically
on.
like, no, I don't want pepperoni, but if you guys get it, I'll eat it.
Like and I get like we're very desensitized as a people, but like
I think that's
Totally.
the big thing.
That's
at
really
what
what it is.
point,
Like,
we are talking about children and
People's
people
lives,
and
yeah.
this is an entire like imagine if we were just like, oh, I'm gonna bomb New York tonight. How do you feel? Ooh, not really here for it, but Godspeed.
but I
What?
think it's always been like that. This is
I don't
just,
care. I don't want to know. And
Well,
I think like
that's what happened with this text. We didn't know. We never had full
that's
confirmation.
disgusting.
But I think a lot of people probably started thinking like, yeah, they probably
It's because,
really
and
dumb.
I'll be the
with
first
this.
to tell you, I am highly like desensitized. But like I said, like I look at it like I'm assuming I'm pretty sure most wars have been like this. Like obviously it hasn't been as convenient because of the phone, but it's like,
Like
I know
imagine Bush saying,
I know
yeah,
for-
man, let's
I know
go
for a
invade
fact-
Iraq. Woohoo!
I know for a fact that
Like, I
King,
know that's how it was.
King was probably like, yeah, let's go invade France, and he was on some bullshit. Like
I'm not ignorant to the fact that it happens, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware that in order for our country to run, things have to occur that we would not be okay with. It's just the reality, right?
You want decorum.
Exactly. And I think as a people, I'm not going to say we don't need to know, but I don't need to see that you're deciding to bomb people with a fist pump. Like,
But like that's the thing too, right?
I-
We weren't supposed to.
and I get that like in war, people die and things happen and this is just life. Because I know people are going to be under here like, oh, grow up. I'm grown. But at what point do we take a step back and just say like, we've gone too far? I get that this is not the first thing that's been planned like this. It won't be the last. This is probably how everything's been done. But I like thinking that you guys are going to handle this as adults and meet in a room and discuss it so that we can make sure. Because what, God forbid, they did bomb Yemen, right? And then somebody was like, oh, I never agreed to that. What are you guys talking about? My phone was hacked. Now what? Now a country, an area, wherever you guys decided to blow up, people are just dead because your phone got hacked? Like, is this what we're doing?
I want to say that was more like I guess like a pre-meeting type of thing. Like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about before we
But
actually go to
if
the
your
room.
pre-meeting isn't safe, what does that say for the rest? And like
I mean,
phones are stolen, people can get kidnapped. Like, I think this just opens a door to a lot of other things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it's like, if this is how y'all are running it, cool. But like, I don't know. This is why I don't watch it.
that is how they are running
'Cause
it.
it's sick.
We seen how they're running it, and that's definitely what it is. I mean, we seen it when he got elected. I mean, look at the SecDef. I mean, he has a whole, what they try to say, that was like some Nazi shit on his chest or something.
Oh, with all the Nazi hand raising.
The Secretary of Defense, he got like these crosses all
The
over
way
his
that
chest.
they're obsessed with the Nazis is crazy to me. But America has a really big like black market with the Nazis. And it's, I mean,
we got a lot of technology from what they did. So it's like, but yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, I'll be the first to say I'm super desensitized. I'm not surprised. I was not surprised when I seen it. I mean, Trump led with disgusting rhetoric during his campaign. This is definitely on course.
this is on course for who we have elected. And I use the term we very lightly. This is what they wanted. And
This is what they wanted. Yeah,
getting.
that's the thing. This is what they wanted.
You wanted uneducated, hair trigger, wow people. You wanted Instagram worthy headlines. And that's what we're getting.
And so my brain automatically adjusted to
We have a reality
that
star
type of
running our
shit.
country.
And so when I seen it happen, I was like, yep, sounds about right. That's exactly what I first seen. I'm like, yep.
No, it was crazy, but I always say, we're going into idiocracy.
I still need to watch that. I guess I just turn on the news and it'll be good enough.
Yeah,
that's basically
for real. Like real.
One day you're gonna turn on the news and the president's gonna be like, no longer are we allowed to drink water. We only drink Gatorade.
I mean, look at the tariffs.
Water is bad.
Look at the tariffs and the formula they use to determine the tariffs.
There's this guy that I follow. Well, so with the tariffs, I think in general, whenever Trump speaks, it's just funny because he never gives you anything like quantifiable. Very good. All the way. Increased by a lot. Decreased by a lot. Increased a little. Like there's no numbers to say like, okay, we 10x this. You know, we fell by 20%. You know, I'm going to buy Greenland and pay them much more than what they get. Much more. A lot more. Like it's never a number.
He sounds like the motivational speaker that businesses hire for meetings.
Not even. Because at least Grant Cardone will give you the 10x, like 10x it. Tony Robbins.
He's like the cheap one, the ones that be coming around scamming you, like
the terrible ones.
The ones that'll give you the free session and then you got to pay for the next session and then you got to pay for the next session after that. Yeah, but the tariffs thing, I do want to talk about that because I think a lot of the current stuff is just tariff bad. I want to talk about why. I want to talk about like the how, the what, the why, like the effects of it and all of that. Because for me, you know, when he announced the tariffs, I like gaming, and it actually affected gaming in a way where consoles are now going to cost more because they have to pay a tariff for the production of them. Computer parts are going to cost more, pay for tariffs. So it's like very interesting. In
my industry, it's 100% tax if we ship to Puerto Rico. So if a game costs us $20,000 to ship it, we have to pay $20,000 per game.
Damn. What?
Yes. Like, it's such a joke. And I think when people talk about, like, tariffs, I think it's, like, one of those hot topic terms. And, again, it is. It's not hard to Google. It's not hard to look this stuff up.
How they work.
But right? I can't even... That's an ignorant excuse. Like, this isn't 15 years ago when you would have had to get a dictionary and look it up and, you know, go to the public library and try to figure it out or ask somebody. Like... You have the world at your fingertips and you just decide to post nonsense. Like, if I typed in tariffs and 900 different videos came up with people explaining them in 50 different ways. So for you to say, I didn't know, they showed videos of Kamala Harris talking about tariffs 2 years ago. They showed videos of people explaining what tariffs look like and what that looks like for us when people were using the hot button terms. So to say I didn't know, I would appreciate it more if you could say, I didn't think it would affect me, so I didn't care. Because that's what it is. It's not that you didn't know. People told you this is going to affect everything. You thought, well, it's not going to affect me, so I don't care. And I think that's what it is. Don't say I didn't know. I didn't know it was going to affect me this way.
I saw an interesting video. I don't know if you sent it or what. It was a guy talking about, we're getting our oranges from here, so we're good. Oranges come from America, so we're fine. And then he was like, okay, so what about the machines that make the oranges? Those come from across
the netting?
Because you're not about to walk and pick them.
Yeah. What about everything that's involved in the process of getting that orange from that farm to you?
That's how
all of that comes from outside of us, so we're going to pay more because of that. And I think a lot of people didn't realize, because I think when Trump was up for election, I saw videos of people saying like, oh yeah, Trump's going to raise the tariffs. That's a good thing.
They're idiots.
People were like, why do you think that? And they said, because it's going to be more money that they got to pay to give us.
And do you know why? Because he said it. And that's what like really, 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 really irritates me. You hear something, you don't check it, and you just regurgitate it. Well, Trump said so. Well, what do you mean he said so? Well, he said tariffs are good because they're going to pay it. Well, no, I'm telling you that's not true. Well, you're lying. He's telling the truth. Not a Google, not a fact check site, not maybe I should look this up. No, you're idiots. His hats are made in China.
Yeah, like, those are going to be tariffed.
Everything is going to be tariffed. Like, good luck on new cars.
Man, good luck on
Manufacturers are already coming out saying No. And like COVID really messed a lot of stuff up with production and like car parts in general. Like it was really, really hard for new cars to get new parts and to even get
As
here.
well as the chips. We had a chip shortage. And that's why a lot of like rental cars got put up because of COVID. You know, people weren't driving rental cars. So a lot of those got trashed. People cut down on inventory. And then we had a chip shortage because people weren't producing the chips, I think in China or somewhere, because they come from like China or Taiwan or something like that. And now cars are going to cost more. Everything is going to cost more.
An iPhone is supposed to cost $24,000.
What?
Like the new one?
$2,400.
Okay.
Because of the chip. So they already went up
because
in
of the
price.
chips, yeah.
So they went up in price last year because of the chips.
Dang, and I ain't upgraded.
Then they can't use those chips anymore. So now they're saying in order for them to get them in a sustainable way, $2,400 minimum for an iPhone.
That's absolutely ridiculous for a phone. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But these tariffs, like they're horrible. So for the people out there who don't know,
break
the
it
tariff
down.
is a tax on a good. Now,
What is a good?
A good is anything. It can be your clothes, it can be food, it could be electronics,
anything you have to buy.
anything you have to buy. Now, understand the tariffs affect everything all over. He's saying that tariffs, he's implementing them in order to promote businesses in the United States to be, we supply ourselves with that. But
We don't
that's
have
not
the
possible.
infrastructure.
We don't have that infrastructure. I believe we have a trade deficit where most of the stuff we need, we get from other countries anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do have products. Yes, oranges do come from here. But like I said earlier, think about all the things that we need in order to get those oranges from Florida to wherever you are,
Even
right?
avocados. Like
Those come from here too?
No,
Oh.
like I had looked into avocado farming a long time ago. It's a very interesting business. Don't do it. Don't look into it. But like even avocados coming from Mexico, like I'm just thinking of like popular things that people like avocado salads, avocados on everything. Avocados coming from Mexico faces crazy situations just getting it over the border.
Yeah.
We're talking about like China, Taiwan.
It's going to be absolutely crazy. So if the price goes up for them, let's say they selling t-shirts for $5 right now, but we say we need you to pay a 50% increase on that. So what, now they plan like $7.50, I think, for t-shirts? They're going to make you pay even more for those t-shirts to offset that tax.
So if I buy...
And then the next person's going to offset it. And then the person who's selling it to you at the end of this chain, you're paying whatever the tax was plus whatever they decided to add on top of that. We're getting stiff, not them. We're getting stiff.
And they're going to pass that cost off on the consumer. So like with your t-shirt analogy, if it costs me $5 to get my shirt, but now this $5 shirt is now costing me $10, I'm no longer going to sell my $5 t-shirt for $10. I'm going to sell it for $20 because now I have no profit margin. I have no this, I have no that, right? So that's just for me to get the shirt. That's not then including for them to print it or do whatever else.
That's a whole other ball game.
So then if now the printing cost has gone up and now in order for my full cost of goods, maybe for them to put my logo on it, it's an extra $10 instead of the normal $5. So now my $10 t-shirt now costs $20 and the $10 you used to pay, you're now probably going to have to pay $25 just for them to see a profit, because then when they mail it to you, depending on where they're mailing it from, if they do drop shipping, that then they're going to offset that cost on to you.
Yep.
And then now on top of all of that, don't forget we live in America where capitalism is
taxes,
it's high levels. So imagine with these tariffs and how they're upcharging everything, because I made a TikTok about this, and how they're upcharging everything. Now imagine they take the tariffs away. Do y'all think that price is going to go back down to the original price, or do you think it's going to be raised just a little bit more anyway? Right. So everything right now as it is, once this gets tariffed, it will not go back to that original. I probably will never go back to that original price ever again. So you're going to automatically have to pay extra for everything that might get extra taxed right now. So,
because the ideology is you could afford it when it was taxed, so you can still afford it when it's not being taxed, and I'm about to get that profit. I don't care what you're going through. I want your money.
Have you guys seen the people buying the chickens from Trader Joe's, like the eggs? They're buying, so there's two kinds of chickens. There's the chickens that we eat and there's the chickens that lay eggs. And they only lay eggs, right?
Yeah.
So the egg laying chickens, I guess Trader Joe's is selling fertilized eggs. So all you have to do is put them
So you can have your own chickens?
So a lot of people are buying the eggs there, and
Owning
they're
chickens
having.
ain't easy, bro.
It's not, but the girls on TikTok are making it look so cute. I don't like chickens.
Hey, you should get your careers on TikTok.
Yeah, I don't like chickens. I got chased by a rooster when I was younger, and chickens are very mean and they're very dirty. I don't like them. I like to eat them, but I don't like them. But there's one creator, I can't think of her name, but she has a little chicken and he's so cute, and she like washes him and puts like little bows and stuff on him because she's trying to raise him so they can get big.
That's crazy.
It's such a cute little
That sounds
situation.
like something my mom would do.
But they're so like, I mean, they're good for like throwing your stuff away because they eat everything.
They eat
They're like a little
everything.
pig.
They eat everything.
Like
They'll eat
pigs.
chicken.
Yeah.
Chickens will eat chicken.
They will. They're
Yes.
gross. Yeah.
Chickens will eat.
I mean,
they love chicken, as a matter of fact.
They came from raptors, though. They came from dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they're going to eat
Chickens
everything.
will eat chickens.
Yeah, people,
bro.
it's getting that bad. And then when I was at the store yesterday, I saw a sign that was limit 2 cartons of eggs and 2 cartons of milk only. So that's starting.
There's still limits because it's hard to keep up with it. I know we were bouncing back from the whole bird flu thing with egg shortages.
Yeah.
Because prices like spiked up to like $8.
Well,
I
there
think,
was
a carton.
bird flu. Then the chicken that we eat the chicken from, their farm had an issue. The chicken that lays eggs had an issue.
Mhm.
And then there were like 3 semis full of eggs that had toppled during all that winter stuff, remember? On the highway. And then there was a bunch of cracked eggs. So it was like on top of not having the chickens, like a normal chicken's lifespan, I think before we did like all the genetic modification, I think it was like over 90 days for it to fully mature. And I think we have it down to 21. So even if you inject all the hormones and everything, that's only 2 weeks for the chickens to, you know,
Get
be
to
able
where
to
we
eat.
need them to be at. Yeah.
And that's not including the chickens that we need to have so that they can be born and then get old enough to produce eggs.
That's
I think it's going to take about another like 2.5, 3 months just for our eggs to get back to normal.
Yeah. But I just know it was slowly coming down. I mean, I don't know. We have
But now we
chickens,
don't even
so-
have people to test for it. So we don't even know if we're going to have bird flu again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't know.
What is going on
with them
anymore?
testing all of that? We had all that salmonella. Like
Mhm.
every week we were finding stuff out. Now we're just not gonna know.
Oh, that was another thing too that happened in the thing.
Fired everybody.
The Board of Education too, right? They did agree to shut that down, so they're slowly shuttering that. And they're saying that a lot of like student loans are about to go to the SBA. So I'll lose my paperwork.
Please.
And then shout out to FAM. I don't think a lot of people know a lot of pharmaceutical like reps and people that are involved in agriculture come out of FAMU. They just lost like all of their funding because of DEI cutbacks. And I think they said they produced 92% of graduates. So we have nobody checking our food. We have nobody making sure that we're not going to die.
It is getting so wicked out here.
I knew it was going to go left when Bill Gates bought APPL and started coding the food. But now, like, that they're all in, like, a little cabal, it reminds me of, like, Blacklist, but not a fun version.
Yeah,
Not
as
a
soon as you
cabal.
said it, as soon as you said it, I was like, Blacklist. Off the
Yeah.
rip.
Just a cabal of
I
evil
need Raymond
company
Reddington
owners.
to come help me. Well, think about it.
I mean,
They're all friends.
We seen it at the inauguration. I mean,
Meta owns everything.
yeah, Mark Zuckerberg.
You have Threads,
Jeff
Facebook.
Bezos, and then who else was there?
TikTok.
Tim, buddy from Apple, like all of them in the
All
same
of them.
room. That's kind of crazy.
All billionaires that control everything. They have media. They have news. They have food.
It's the real Illuminati guys.
They have technology. Like, and I mean, we're seeing it all crumble.
I wouldn't say it's Illuminati. I would say like these people. This is America's Illuminati. This is like America's cabal compared to like China. I don't think they're really.
I wish we had a smarter one. Like, at least China has like cool buildings and they're going
You
places.
want like a
Like,
good
we're just
think tank.
dying.
But China got like whole spots that's like people are eating out of like sewers and shit. So, I
So
don't
do
know.
we. We
Yeah.
just passed a whole bunch of people under a bridge
I don't
where
know.
they put rocks so that they can't sleep under there anymore. Like, are you joking? We have Tent City. We have people in
We have Tent
Detroit with
City.
no water.
Flint,
Still.
yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
They ain't had water since what, 2012?
We are a third world country.
2014?
Yeah.
2012 sometime? That's a long.
It's been over 10 years.
With no clean water is
Makeshift
absolutely
schools,
crazy.
No clean water. Like, we have this facade that America is so great. We are a third world country, bro.
I don't know.
We have
Okay,
the
so,
same
like,
issues.
I get where you coming from. I do. We're ghetto, right?
I'm saying in terms of when we look at other
But-
countries and we're like, we don't do that or we don't have that. Yes, we do.
I don't know.
It might not be in front of you every day. We have children that are hungry. We have people that are trafficked. we pay more attention to designer goods being brought over here illegally than we do children. Like, it's sick.
No, I agree.
Like,
we have a lot of problems. We have the same problems that a lot of countries have.
And we just act like we're better, and we're not.
And we brush them under the rug.
Because we can hide it better.
But
you go ahead. But
we record way more of our problems than they do, than other countries do. Like we have a lot more
freedom.
We can actually see our problems way more than other countries will.
I don't think so, because there's people that forget that we have issues.
Because like China, if there's problems in China, we don't know because they
literally hide that
They
shit.
monitor their media. Like they don't let them put out stuff.
Like,
the people who put stuff out, like the real shit, not like the shit that
Does
everybody knows.
Does that not sound like what's happening at the White House when they told the reporter not to ask any questions and kick them out?
We're going through it now for sure.
I think
slowly but surely we're turning into them.
We've always been them. It just hasn't been this much in our face. No. There's always been reporters that have all of a sudden mysteriously died. There was just a bunch of cops in Texas there's 10 cops in Texas that have all committed suicide that were investigating a big child sex trafficking ring. All of them have just decided to do a suicide pact and kill themselves within a couple weeks. This has always happened.
Yeah.
We've always had reporters go up missing, people that have asked too many questions.
Like that professor that went missing too.
None of this is new. It's just more of an I don't care, they don't care, they're not going to fight back.
Maybe that's what it is.
So we are not, I don't think, like we're trying to hang on to this, we're better. I'm not seeing it.
I mean, there ain't many other places I'd want to live, just being honest, at this point.
Still.
There ain't many other places I'd want to go to.
There's other countries I would go to tomorrow.
Give the audience which ones, because I don't know.
Only place I'd go to is Japan, that's it.
I haven't been to Japan. New Zealand's practices seem cool. Hell, even Canada seems all right with what's going on. Healthcare, other things. It's not as bad as here. Yes, I can't shoot my guns. I can't do certain things, but it's not this. Lots of places in Europe. I like the Middle East. I'd be open to Dubai, but I'm also okay.
You'll be good anywhere, though.
Why do you say that?
They're not going to fuck with us. You can blend in a little bit better. Not saying you look white or anything, but they'll probably be cool. You're a woman. White,
You're
a woman.
Which makes it even harder, but I'm also respectful to people's traditions and beliefs and values. So like
you won't do what they expect tourists to do, right? You got common sense. Like me going to Japan, as much as I would like to go live there, they're not going to like, even
I
with
probably
me,
would not live in Japan
with
based on the things that I've seen. I wouldn't live in Iceland. I don't want to be on an island. Iceland was great, but I like ranch. I'm not trying to pay $20 for ranch.
I'm not going to Japan just off of the volcano for one, tsunami, two, earthquakes and all that. No, they can't have all that. That's like trauma land.
You can live inland.
That's why we left. Exactly.
You can live inland in Japan, so no tsunami problems. If you live on the coast, you're done. You can live inland. There's places that weren't touched by tsunamis.
It's still an island at the end of the day.
I mean, it is still an island.
It's dead. Yeah.
But there's a lot of places that I go.
I mean, hey,
Switzerland.
I'm not as well traveled as you are, so you've experienced different places.
I like London.
What he said, they don't.
I don't feel like. I don't know. I just don't feel like the opportunities would be the same for not just black people, just anybody. Like in certain places, right? I do think the United States is fucked up. Sure. I think they allow a lot of stuff to be said because they bank on the fact that we've built a whole ideology around like conspiracy theory. I think our country is one of the biggest like conspiracy theory like people. We've had shit going on since presidents in the beginning.
Yeah, Nixon.
Right? So like there's not really much people care about when it comes to it because they've been desensitizing us all these years.
Singapore seems cool too. Sorry.
Singapore.
I got to see about the economy about all of that too. Though.
Yeah. So like,
I think it depends on what you want to do.
So like with like certain Asian countries too, like as long as the government's cool, right? Because I know like China seems cool, but I know like China they will crack down real quick.
Mandarin's
the military
really hard.
is just they gonna jump in on you. Yeah.
I don't want to move somewhere where I couldn't potentially learn the language, and I know I'm not.
I think if you really wanted to,
even the Middle East, like Arabic, is really hard.
I think if you really wanted to, I don't
have it.
I think like most Asian languages all kind of grow from a similar base. So once you learn one, I've heard it's easier to learn other ones.
I don't think I can learn the one.
I think you could. You could. It's broken down into like here, like for Japanese, I know there's like 4 types: hiragana, katakana, and all that. There's like 2 other ones: katakana, hiragana, kanji, and then romanji, I think. But you break it down, you learn it. It's different. It's just you learn a language. You can learn Spanish, right?
Spanish is kind of
okay.
Latin is anything that's.
But it depends on what kind
Latin.
of Spanish, because Barcelona, I feel like, and I'm not.
No, they use a different kind. They use a different kind of
but
Spanish.
It's like a. Yeah, like they have like a lisp. Like everything's like a
thick one.
Like a TH.
It's a different Spanish from like Mexico. Like Spain has a different kind of Spanish.
I mean, Spanish is different in Puerto Rico, Mexico, Dominican, like Cuban.
I mean,
like it's all different
has, like,
anyways.
colloquial. It's like English. We have in the South. It's
but
certain
in
English in the
Barcelona,
South
like
is
it's just
different
very
from English in the North.
Just very
English
different words. Yeah. Well,
or
that's
niggas in Baltimore.
We don't speak proper English.
So yeah, it's wild. But where were we? We were talking about the tariffs.
Yeah.
Tariffs do suck, and understand that they will affect us. Hopefully they can reach an agreement. I know he's using this as like some kind of scare tactic.
Ain't nobody scared,
He's
though.
using it like a business tactic,
Canada snatched our stuff off the shelves and said goodbye.
And it feels like a bunch of like middle schoolers like fighting.
But I think that's how we're trying to make it seem, because, and I hate to say this because I know you guys are going to come in the comments. I don't care. But on TikTok, if you type in like, I think it was like world ban and like just different countries, like there are so many countries protesting for us.
Yeah.
And like here, I don't think we understand the full magnitude because we're not seeing it. But like when I get on TikTok and I see it, it's not just like Americans or like American naval bases or military bases, because a lot of the bases had issues with DEI being pulled back and all that stuff. But I think it's crazy to see how the world is reacting to what's going on with us, and us being placed on like a not safe travel ban, which we've seen before, for it to be a watch list for women to not come here. Like we try to make it seem like we're so much better, but we are, as a country, we are to other countries how we look at Florida.
Yeah.
And I think I said that before, like how Florida is embarrassing, and anytime something crazy happens, it's like, that's in Florida.
Yeah.
High off bath salts eating somebody's face. Yeah. Florida. Like
we are that country.
We are that country. And I think like when you're looking and seeing all these other people talk about what's going on and their views, like it is very scary. Like that we are at war and potentially going to war. Other countries are preparing for war with us. And we are, I mean, people are joking that Black people are making up line dances with fans and boots. But I mean, we're really like, I think they're waiting for us to do something. But it's like, we kind of told you. So it's like, I don't know what y'all want us to do.
Waiting for who? Us? Black people?
People are definitely waiting for Black people. That's why.
Look, that's why they didn't go marching yesterday.
Yeah. Like that march, I knew that was not going to happen.
And the white folks came out though. They was out there in droves.
They should be.
They always come out when they set up their events, but when we come, then all of a sudden it's there were riots.
It was going to be target practice. Like I'm not doing that.
You saw what happened during the BLM stuff. They immediately said, Black people rioting. And then when you saw those videos, who was it? It was white people. Man. And they still... I mean, granted, there were Black people in those riots too, but like...
They never talked about... Target one. They never talked about those white people from LA that hired specifically Black people to go and loot during riots. Nobody ever talked about them. They made like over $5 million and nobody has talked about them since it came out that was the family that was doing it. But my thing is, I'm grateful that we're starting to have people speak up and we're starting to have people do things, but I just think it needs to happen a little faster. And I think it can't just be the Black people. Like everybody's like, the Democrats, but it's like, there's an attack on women. There's an attack on people. I don't even think the Democrats can really do
much either because they don't even have the majority anymore.
Like, what do y'all want us to do?
So it's like...
I watched an old white man sit there and tell somebody that they were a stupid N-word and move on to the next person. And he was an elected official and like just didn't care. I sent it to you guys.
You talking about the dude? He said that they were wearing like a terrorist. They're wearing a terrorist rag. Yeah, it's Florida. One thing there was in Florida, so yeah.
It's just sickening, man. It's
crazy.
Like I said, it became apparent when Donald Trump got elected. I looked at the percentages of people who voted for him, and I determined this is the amount of people that live in this country with this kind of mindset. I got to adapt. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes, like I said, like you just have to know how to move around it.
How do you move around it?
You just got to look. It's like having insurance, right? Like you just have to make sure your money's good, make sure your family good. keep them informed, keep your friends informed, keep everybody informed to make sure, hey, you can't save everybody.
You move around it one day at a time.
Exactly. As it happens,
that's all we can do.
Determine, okay.
And let's hope don't nobody push the
can
big
I
red
avoid
button.
this or can I not avoid this, right? Like, how much do I have to put towards this or whatever?
Well, the Simpsons might have been right. Waiting on April 12th, right?
What did they say for April 12th?
He died.
That's crazy.
But then, I mean,
I saw
there's
Paul
like...
saying that, like, it's crazy.
Trump at this point, it's like if you... It's cut off the one head, there's like 5 more grow back. There's so many people in place behind him.
That it's effective.
Like Marjorie Taylor's ex-husband was just very rude and racist to some Muslim women here like a week ago.
That's one thing that has happened over these years. Racism has
open racism
become more apparent. Like, it's like larger. Like people were secretly racist. Now they're like more openly racist.
You have people running around on highways in Nazi outfits calling the police because people were throwing cans at them. And they're in full Nazi regalia. Like, well, what am I doing wrong? At a kid's school with guns.
Trump was...
Like, people are just wild.
Trump was the Republican Party's emergency button because they were losing the plot. They were losing their audience, their congregation.
There's no way that you can't look at him and what he's brought to this country and not tell me that Trump is not equated with hate. And I think Barack said it best a couple nights ago. If he were to do a quarter of what Trump is doing.
That was a great clip. If y'all ain't seen it, y'all gotta go see that.
Like if he did a
This goes back to the analogy that you hated that I made, which is like Trump being the black president. Trump is doing what America would expect from a black president in the sense of this nigga has a mugshot in the White House.
You know what's funny to me?
I didn't mean to call him that. But y'all know what I mean.
Trump is doing what white people have wanted to do all along.
Yeah.
The majority. I'm not saying everybody, so don't come over here.
White people are...
The majority.
...are on a higher level of ignorance.
I ain't gonna say the majority of them want to do it.
No, but there's white people...
The majority voted for him. Like, what do you mean?
They were
like,
cool
you
with that
can't,
shit.
you cannot say that, and
like,
the statistics don't back it.
There are some white people who are having an awakening. So, like, I saw the CEO of GameStop. He was complaining. He was really on board for Trump. He was like, yeah, Trump, this, that, and the other. And then the tariffs. And he was like, no, my money.
But you could not have been, yay, Trump, but then say, oh, the tariffs. Trump talked about tariffs when he was running.
Exactly.
So, again.
He didn't do the Google search.
But again, I think people allowed their racism to cloud their judgment.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing you guys had to go with. Because now, like during election time, you heard everybody his policies. And then when you heard people say, okay, name one.
Nobody can name a policy.
Trump's great.
Yeah.
Or they would just say tariffs. That's not a policy. Like they would just say things. Immigration, that's not a policy. So again, you allowed the fact that you wanted an ignorant reality TV star who ran failed businesses to run our country and expect our country to flourish. When everything that he was telling you were things that weren't going to work.
I ain't gonna lie, he been busy. And it ain't even been a year yet. That's the craziest part.
He hasn't been busy. His friends have been busy. He wanted to be president, so he didn't go to jail. He doesn't care what happens.
I think towards the racism thing, I think it's more classism. I think the white people who have money know that there are white people without money, but they don't care about them. They're like, oh, whatever.
Like white people without money voted for him.
They're delusional.
Do you know this woman?
White people without money. Let me say, white people without money that voted for. That's complete delusion. That's his
primary.
Those are the ones that are really racist. Those are the ones that are racist.
Those were the ones at the rallies. That was his prime. So those were his targets.
That's the ones that helped influence the Republican Party to switch over towards Trump because they needed those.
They said we need these people because they're untapped market.
Exactly.
I don't think they helped anybody come out to vote. I think they just rallied the.
No, they voted. They probably
voted before.
Trump got them up out of there because they felt like okay,
Trump got them out the trailer park to vote.
Exactly, because
Obama got us to vote because a lot of us was like, oh, it's a black man, and families came out of nowhere talking about the importance of voting that never cared about voting. Like, yo, Obama put him in office. He is a black man. He is going to run this country. That is an amazing thing for us. Because people were looking at the whole historical fact of black people have always been never like in that kind of position, right? And they were like, this is a person who can finally do this for us. He did what he did. And I don't like the negativity that black people have around him because it's like they expected him to put all of Obama. Like, it's like y'all expected him to put all of us on.
They
like,
expected him to do what Trump did. They thought he was Trump.
Exactly. And that's the big thing there too. And that's why I say what I say. But
to be fair though, when you look at it, it's like Trump made all these executive joints.
Executive orders, yeah.
You can't ask the question, why didn't the presidents that we elected do the same thing?
Senator Booker said he was the first black person in his position.
In New Jersey, yeah, he's the first
Ever.
black. He's the first black New Jersey senator.
So that just goes to show you, like,
yeah, bro, we're still getting first black somethings in areas. That's fucking crazy. It is 2025.
It's only what 13% of us in the country anyway.
So there was this woman on TikTok who said she was talking with her white coworker, and her white coworker was like, "It's okay if they bring back slavery. I'll buy you and your daughter."
Who said that?
This woman said it to her coworker.
Where?
And the black lady was like, I sent it to y'all. The black lady was like, well, how do you know that, like, it would be slavery where y'all are buying us, not the other way around? And she laughed and said, darling, Trump is in office. But to me, the fact that, like, in 2025,
we live in a TV show, bro.
You can even think to say, like, I'll buy. She said it with no hesitation. She was like, I'll buy you and your daughter. Obviously, I'll keep you guys together. Like, to me, that's crazy. Not bump that we're not about to have a world where we're buying people. Not, why would you ever say anything like that? What do you mean go back to slavery? The thought that the solution was, oh, I'm going to buy you both. That means you've thought about this. Like, you've thought about buying people
definitely
again. Every time that girl probably got smart with you, the best 90 days, you've probably been like, ooh, time is coming. Then she made a comment that, like, her daughter was darker than her. And she was like, well, so you're going to have my daughter outside and I'm just going to be in the house? And she was like, no, well, I mean, you'll get dark being outside too. What? Like, I was watching this video.
That's a real video?
Yes. And I wanted to reach out to this woman so bad because it was just one of those things I don't think she should have posted.
Hell no.
On so many levels, there were so many things wrong. The fact that the coworker thought about this, the fact that the coworker had a plan, the fact that the coworker was going to put you and your black child outside to work is crazy to me. The fact that we're even talking about buying people is crazy to me. The fact that she was entertaining this conversation, because what do you mean purchase me? There's no way that I will be a slave. It's just not happening.
So, like right now, right?
Right now, next week, next year,
like back
next
then.
month. I'm talking about there is no possible way
Oh, yeah, right now, yeah.
that Ashley Nicole Cougar will be owned by any person in my lifetime.
Full government,
You will have to kill
cut
me.
that out.
I don't care. There is no way. It's just not happening. I will die. There's no way. And the fact that that woman didn't feel the same and was just like, oh, yeah, I'll buy you. Like, they're happy.
The casualness is the problem for me.
Like, oh, yeah, I'll buy you and your kid.
She was casual with that shit. That's wild.
Like, what?
I can't even entertain the thought, honestly. Like, it's just...
The way I would have had to take a mental health day at work so that I didn't slap her in her desk.
Well, I'm working for what? For what? For free? No.
Not working for... The fact that you fixed your lips to tell me you were going to buy me and my child and have a full conversation with me and think that this is cute. Like, I'm upset for her and I don't have kids and that wasn't me. But
That's
like,
crazy.
You're going to tell me that at work?
But we're going to see more of that as time goes on. We're going to start seeing more and more of that.
Don't come around me with it.
She's crazy.
I don't have it to give. But he did a really good job sitting and talking for 25 hours.
Yeah, no, for sure. He a lot of people called it a filibuster at first, but it's technically not a filibuster.
not.
He wasn't trying to stop a bill from being
It's been debates about
pushed.
what filibusters are.
But they gave him credit for having the longest filibuster.
Yeah.
He had the longest nonstop speech.
Yeah.
Filibusters,
But
I think.
the person he beat had the longest speech and was fighting to continue to own slaves.
Yeah, the Civil Rights Act.
So the
Rights Act,
fact that a black man, the first black elected person in New Jersey,
Hey, no, shout out to him. He talked for 25
is
hours.
fighting for rights and broke that record in a time where that's what we're looking at.
25 hours. No bathroom breaks, no nothing.
So he said he prepped for it. So he's an athlete. He said that he
fasted.
He fasted.
yeah.
He didn't drink
anything,
he didn't
nothing.
eat. And he just conditioned his body to just be ready. And I watched a couple interviews with him after. So even after he stayed for the 25 hours, he still did a couple interviews. And he was like, I'm exhausted.
I believe it, but hey,
But shout out to him and making it work.
That was a passion.
Cory
that
Booker,
was a passion.
he used to be on Breakfast Club a lot.
I hate that show.
I like Breakfast Club.
I hate
He's been on Breakfast Club a lot. That's why I first met him. You know what I'm saying? It reminded me a lot of like how I got in touch with Obama before he got elected president. Like how he would go on these certain circuits, these interview circuits, like with black people and stuff like that. So maybe he might run. I don't know. I got to see his policies and stuff. But hey, shout out to him for doing what he's doing.
No, he did a good job. Yeah, definitely.
We need more people to do that, and we need more people that look like Trump's cabinet to step up and assist. It can't just be all on us. No, and I know they've been trying.
I get what
it has to be a group effort. We did not get here by ourselves. It was not us that got him elected.
We're going to need help from everybody, right? Everybody has to do their part.
Like I said, this is a blowback from Obama's election. So that's all this is. Like, this was an absolute blowback.
What do you mean when you say that?
So obviously when Obama got elected, it definitely riled up those people, right? Like twice in a row, there's no...
that was our turn,
so
right?
you think this is our karma because they felt like they were a minority?
This is our turn.
How do you go from Obama...
But when I say I don't mean white people.
Trump.
I don't mean white people. I mean the white people that they targeted. This is their moment.
Yeah, this
right?
is them. Like
how Obama
this
was
is the white people
moment.
that the extremists.
Trump is to those white people what Obama was to black people.
I don't think that's a fair thing at all. Because black people, I think when you say that, it's very dangerous. Because black people did not start walking around calling white people racist names. Black people. So I think that's who he's brought out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Obama did not bring that out of people. What I saw with people were people that were happy to finally feel represented.
Mm-hmm.
I saw people that were excited to vote and talk about voting. I saw a big turnout of people wanting to be educated.
Mm-hmm.
I saw people vote for the first time in their lives. I saw people have more pride in this country.
You talking about black people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amongst Obama. With Trump, I see hate. So I think it becomes dangerous.
That's an oversimplification.
That's why I'm saying, like, be careful, because people are going to take that and run with it.
I don't mean it like the hate
it was
or
not
anything like that. What I mean is how Obama awakened a lot of just like black people to like a lot of stuff. He opened up a lot of us. There was some ignorance that was awoken too.
For sure, I'm not saying it was great, but it was not this.
With Trump, he did something similar, but with the ignorance and the racism. He awoken that higher.
Like, I don't think he awakened it. I think he gave it a platform.
Yeah, and we get to see it more. It was there. It was always there. It's always been underneath.
He gave them a mic.
They were seething when Obama was in office.
Seething.
And when Obama got out of office, they were like, he
found the bottom of the barrel racists that don't know how to articulate a conversation, that want to be victims, that, oh my God, that black woman took my job, that Indian doctor stole my job. Meanwhile, I have no education, no job, I live off the government and I'm just crying.
Hey, look,
poor me.
Y'all complain, AI gonna take everybody's job.
Like, it's bottom of the barrel people that he catered to.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's a fair comparison.
Yeah, like I said, it's oversimplification. Yeah. So I take it back and I put it more so to the sense of how Obama uplifted and brought out a lot. Trump
uplifted their ignorance and gave it a platform to breathe.
That one.
Obama's competitors weren't good. Like I said, like what Trump was how Obama was very what's the word, like.
Who did he go against? McCain?
He was very
Trump
like
went both
popular.
Times against women. He went against Hillary and he went against Kamala.
He won against women.
If he did not win against a white woman, there was no way he was winning against a black woman.
He lost against Biden. Like
it literally boils down to women.
Clinton was close though. She was close.
It boiled down to women. They were never going to let a woman run this country.
No, it's
just not happening.
And then the fact that we got Kamala up there, and they were definitely not going to let her.
And I think it was a joke. It was like, okay, we let a black man win. Great. Now y'all want a woman? Absolutely not. And it was a white woman. And then it's like, now you want to play in my face and you want a black woman? Absolutely.
I still can't.
That's definitely what did it too, though.
I still can't get over the ignorance of it. I ain't gonna have no woman running the country. That shit bothered the.
They're under our comments now. What do you mean?
That bothered me. That bothered me so much.
Women are so emotional.
Like y'all saying, in that same breath, you think you can run the country?
First of all, emotional. Y'all don't see how Trump's cabinet acts?
Bro,
if that's not emotional, and he doesn't even have a period.
Trump has been emotionally writing everything. All of that is emotional based.
I'm mad. I'm upset. They don't know. This is ridiculous.
Bro, him and Elon
they
were
will
having
respect us.
a spat. Like Like, come on now, this is the dude who helped you get elected, and you're mad at him for some reason?
I told you that breakup is going to be terrible.
But look, with Elon, though, so he got a lot of stuff going on. They're painting it like all kinds of ways, but I think
you mean his spaceship's blowing up and polluting the water?
I mean, there's that, but then there's like
Or
other stuff,
the
like him
robots.
having to leave Doge, which they're painting
Doge,
it
what,
as
the
because the fake
position
government
that they gave him?
So like that. Apparently, he would have had to leave it anyway at the end of May.
Well,
because
they
he was
lied.
only allowed a certain amount of days
yeah.
to be a part of that anyway.
But they lied. They said he wasn't a part of it, but then they said
Then
he
he
was.
was, yeah.
So it's like that's what it's a lie.
But now they're saying, well, he will leave, but he'll stay a friend and an advisor. Which, what does that mean? So you're gonna listen to what he has
this
to tell you?
country is a joke. Like,
but then I know he got in trouble with the whole Supreme Court. Well, was it trouble? There was that Supreme Court thing where he ended up still losing, and he was apparently trying to get people to vote for his candidates.
Supreme Court, I want to say in Wisconsin.
we don't believe in handouts unless they go to
It's
billionaires
like
in other countries.
did you guys see that video where the dude was
he
like,
got a bunch of grants.
Yeah, it was a dude, and it was a dude talking about. They showed a video, and the woman was like, "Yeah, Elon told me if I get out and tell people to vote, he'll give me $1 million."
Yeah, I saw that.
And then,
endorsements.
like,
you can't do that.
what they did is they like cut the video to make it not look like she said get out and vote. He just said he wanted me to go out and talk to people.
Yeah.
And I got $1 million.
It's just a joke.
So it's wild. But like I know that was part of like what people were saying was the reason he's getting put out. But I think it's more so
We're only on season 1.
I know. That's what I was saying.
Like,
it's only
season
been
1, Q1.
70 something days.
It ain't been 6 months. I don't think it hasn't been 100 days. It ain't been 100 days.
No.
It's been 70
They
something.
usually have like 100 days thing.
A countdown.
Yeah, it's only been like 70 something. I think he's like at 71, 72.
He already
exhausting.
tanked the market, so shit.
Oh my God. Every day, it's like between the pollen count in Georgia, like breaking records and like the stock market breaking
That's
records.
gonna break records every day, though.
It's like worst that we've
every
ever
year.
seen in American history.
I think pollen
red.
gonna keep getting bad. Yeah.
Then the next day, it's good. And stocks are back on the rise.
So what they
Wednesday,
said,
red market.
what I saw was like the stock market. When he announced the tariffs, that was the biggest stock market drop since 2020, which was during
which is COVID.
COVID.
And then
But
2
I
days
did
later, it
also
got
see-
worse.
Yeah, I did also see that we did see exponential growth after COVID, but I think that's just a fact of COVID was over. People were buying again.
Yeah.
People were out spending.
outside,
Money
yeah.
was moving.
We were actually
like,
not
of
inside.
course.
People were working. I think a lot of people forget stuff shut down.
Yeah.
People can't buy stuff if they can't go to the stores, and people can't buy stuff if they can't make it to buy. So a lot of stuff is blamed on COVID, but I don't think that that's fair. And I'm so tired of dealing with our once in a lifetime experiences.
I do want to ask you all this. If
Oh crap.
Trump was able to somehow make our economy bloom, would you be okay with putting up with the other shit?
We don't have a choice.
If he was somehow, I'm just saying, like,
Would you
how
be-
we sit here, we're critical of him. Would you be as critical of him if he was able to make our economy bloom?
If Trump,
Because he would still have all his other policies around like DEI and people and all of that other shit. But he found a way to make our economy blossom and prices actually drop.
no, because I think one goes into another. Like they go hand in hand. And like we had our DEI episode, so I'm not going to get into that. I don't know if we've posted it yet, but
Yeah.
okay.
Only episode that hasn't been posted is the woke.
I think we talked about it in that one too. In the woke, we talked
Did
about woke
we
and
did talk about
DEI.
DEI, because people said DEI is woke.
So DEI is not black. DEI is not woke. DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion. That includes
everything.
hiring old people. That includes hiring
Disabled
veterans.
people.
Yes, everyone. A lot of the people that are complaining to get rid of DEI, you are the DEI hire. And I want you to understand that. You are the DEI hire. If you are over 30, if you are a woman, if you have had children, if you identify as anything other than what you were naturally born as, if you want equal rights, if you want equal pay, if you are a redhead, if you are different, if you are not a white man, DEI is for you. Period. And if you are a white man that is over the age of 35, DEI is for you. So I think people are, in order for it to blossom, we have to put a lot of those programs back in
a lot
place.
of it has to be in place.
Like, think about what I just said with FAM. We're losing our education to educate these people to go out and do these things because we got rid of DEI.
Like I said, we finna.
So I don't think
we probably about to be the first country relying on AI for real.
I don't think that there is a
Go
way
to an AI doctor
for our country to blossom per se and have Trump in office because his beliefs contradict blossoming. He thinks tariffs are a good idea. He has no concept of what it takes to run this country, and neither do the people behind him because they just genuinely don't know. So no, I could not, because he does not have the ability to do that.
So then let's say, well, no, you can't really put it. He would have to essentially make the economy blossom, but he's still just like, pushing his whole rhetoric of like racism.
And ironically, it's not
I
even
don't think he could do that.
He's put too many people in place that think that what they're doing is smart, that still think, regardless of what's happening, that tariffs are good. Like, they believe the BS that they're spewing, and they're so stuck on proving their point and being right that they can't wake up and say, okay, I might be wrong. So even if he were to say, okay, let's change this around, he's not going to be able to, because there's too many people that just want to be right at this point. They just don't want to be wrong. Yeah. So it's like, how can you? They gave us a playbook of what they were going to do, and they're doing it.
I mean, these are people in his cabinet who, no matter what policies he puts in, they're going to be fine. I mean,
this is not even the people, but the people that he put in, this is what they wanted.
Yeah.
Like, this is that book. This is what we told everybody to read. This is what they wanted. So no, we're just kind of screwed. I mean, unless somebody can blow up the White House and all in a minute at the same time.
She don't mean that. She don't mean that. Don't come for us.
No, I'm just saying there's no way, unless you're getting rid of the entire...
That's sarcasm.
I'm not even being sarcastic. I mean, I'm stating what it would have to take.
What it would take, yeah.
It would have to take like a Marvel movie of all the people in the right place at the right time, and the bad guy is plotting and he has his plan, and then boom.
So the 27th person in line would have to
Yeah, like that entire cabinet would have to be wiped out, because for every JD Vance, now he's come back a little bit, but even he's contradicted himself.
I think JD Vance is like Mike Pence in that he just took the job because, I mean, it is what it is. That's vice presidency. But
that's why I feel like Mike Pence didn't come back.
But aside from the job,
he definitely wasn't going to pick Mike Pence again, bro. Like, there's no way, right? Think about it. He asked him to do something. He did not do it at all.
That's
like,
true,
JD Vance just took the job because it was open, and he was against Trump before he was even given the job.
There's so many videos of him talking crap about Trump.
So I feel like for a fact, if he's in position, he's not doing half of the shit Trump's doing.
And not to mention
you think he'll do better?
I think, yeah, hell yeah.
But to the capacity of how they are, like, a lot of them sat up here and talked about immigration laws and put laws in place that technically their families should be deported. There was an Indian man, I can't think of his name, very controversial. I think it starts with an R. He was talking about...
Ramaswamy?
Yes. He was talking about immigration policies and how you shouldn't just steal your way over here. But then he talked about how his parents got here. And technically his parents are illegal immigrants. So they should technically be deported. And that's what he was speaking about. And then just threw his parents under the bus while he's talking, but wasn't smart enough to understand. That's why I'm saying it would have to be everyone associated with them. Like that, it would just have to be a full, clean.
I get you.
I mean, if somebody want to do their thing...
You'll be a martyr.
Hashtag Luigi. Like,
Speaking
I don't
of
know.
Deportations, they send them boys to a super cell, ain't they?
I seen it. That woman standing outside of there talking was we are so desensitized.
I said, damn.
We are arresting people and deporting them without even proving, like, if they're a citizen or not. Like, we're not even they're ripping people off the street. I saw a Muslim woman in New York get ripped off the street by people in plain clothing. Like, the fact that you're just grabbing people in jeans and a t-shirt and then just showing a little badge, like, I'm not saying fight back, but y'all need to get some mace. The White House
over here posting memes.
Yeah, you need to get some mace and spray and run, because...
Did you see the Border Patrol one?
Yeah.
It's sickening. And that's why I'm saying the whole cabinet, like, everybody it's rotten from the inside.
Rotten to the core.
Like, you just gotta cut the cancer out. Cut it all out. Throw it away and start again.
Build up y'all immune system, y'all.
Because doctors are using Chat GPT to pass. When y'all said the AI, so your current doctor that you believe in is in med school using Chat GPT to pass their exams.
AI is...
I love it.
AI is going to take over. I want to do an episode talking about it.
I love AI.
That'll probably be the next one.
probably
Let's
talk
do it.
about it. I want to talk about it because there's a lot going on around AI. Like
People killing themselves for their boyfriend, girlfriends. People are misusing
that
chat.
one's wild. But I feel like it's. I want to talk about it. I definitely want to talk about it because I got something to say about like moral grandstanding and all that in this too. And we definitely gonna get into that. But I think that's we'll wrap on the politics and
All right,
we'll just
I
go
got
ahead
one.
and we'll
What?
just wrap here.
Oh, we're done?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool. We'll save it for another episode. That's
right.
cool with you.
I don't care. But I am going to read it when y'all done. Because
Okay,
I want y'all to hear
thank
it.
y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
Sound off in the comments. Let us know how y'all feeling about this current administration. If you love it, if you hate it.
And write
we'll
in.
take it because we want to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
We don't want this to be just a hate. We want to have an open dialogue to educate and uplift and move us forward because we need to understand where we need to be politically. I think a lot of people don't understand that, and that is something that I think we as a nation need to actually focus on. That's something I wish they focused on more in school. I don't think we learned enough in school. Hey, politically, we need to be at this level. So definitely sound off in the comments. All of our information will be at the bottom. If you guys want to follow us, check us out. Pass it over to any of you guys. You guys want to say anything?
Like he said, we're not going to be 100% right on a lot of this stuff. So, I mean, if y'all have a different opinion, trust me, put it in the comments. I mean, let us know what you think. The whole point is to increase conversation, you know what I'm saying? Increase knowledge, awareness, 100%. That's the main thing, right? A lot of y'all are not aware. And so y'all probably never heard of the stuff we talking about. So the point is just to put it out, have an opinion about it, do y'all research. And if y'all feel like we're wrong, definitely put it in the comments. That's why we put a lot of clips out. So
if you feel like we're right, put that in the comments because you love telling us when we're wrong.
Well, if you're liking
love telling us when we're
if
wrong.
they're liking it, then they like they
good
agree with
Lord.
us.
Me personally, I like push back. You know what I'm saying? Let me know something. If you feel that way, that's cool. Whatever. Engagement is engagement. I like it. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up.
Keep trolling.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, it's all about awareness, getting y'all out there, you know what I'm saying, know what we talking about. So yeah, for sure.
And we'll do a giveaway for Easter, so stay tuned. We'll put the rules below.
Yeah, all of that good stuff.
Okay, yeah, sure, for sure. So with that being said, thank y'all for watching. Until next time, peace.
Bye.